of just agri. Please, sir, over to you, sir.
Piyush, thank you very much for a nice introduction and very happy to be here. And I would say just two lines, the basic idea, like you said, I am a firm believer in sharing wisdom. I am a firm believer in sharing, goodwill. And more you basically share wisdom and goodwill, or for that case, what you call wealth, it multiplies more. So, the idea is to interact with all the stakeholders related to Indian agriculture. All of us are relates to basically farmers. Agriculture is equivalent to food, and basically on the right side, on the left side, it is equivalent to farmers and land, soil. So the idea was to basically understand this country from agriculture perspective, and I am quite fortunate that I got this opportunity to work across the length and breadth of country, right from northern plains and Jammu Kashmir till Tamil Nadu, and then Gujarat till West Bengal. So I will set up the contest. We have already exceeded. I mean, we have already consumed 10-15 minutes of today's time, which is around 10 minutes. So the idea, the today's talk is all about, the marketing side of agriculture. When we say marketing, it's not about agri input marketing. It is more about agri output marketing. So all of us are aware, and few may not be, but I would like to set the background first before we move to the presentation. We know agriculture at this point of time is struggling globally, not only in India. But let us talk about India. We have three fundamental, challenges with our farmers and our agriculture. The first challenge which we face is our ever-growing population, and it is a challenge, and as well as it is an opportunity, because you have more hands to work, you have more, people to consume, and then you are one of the largest, consumption engine on the globe today. So you have a capability of continuing to be a ever evolving market in terms of consumer durables or whatever sector you talk about. So on one hand, it's a challenge, and on the other hand, it's an opportunity. So ever-growing population means the continuous division of our holdings. So India is a country of marginal farmers, and our holdings will continue to divide further. And then in some of the geographies, in some of the pockets in country, we can see right now that agri holdings are becoming non-economic. Means they are not more of the size which supports a family. So dropping holding size, marginal agriculture, this is one of the challenge. The second challenge is very strong intermediation. So if you look at the Indian agri value chain, the intermediation is very, very strong. So what I'm trying to tell here, there is a wide gap between producer and consumer. And the situation is, unfortunately or fortunately, is producer is getting less and consumers are ending up paying more. For example, we have done a study of tomato value chains in country, and in northern tomato belt, what we could find, most of the monsoon period, which starts generally from 1st of July and it ends 30th of August, most of 70% of the monsoon we receive in this period, 80% of the monsoon we received in this period. So you will find that the major supplying belts of Thiog and others, farmers are getting something around 14-15 rupees a kg on an average, but in the nearest retail market, largest retail market, Delhi, housewives or consumers are paying something around 75 rupees a kg. So 250 kilometer run, and things changes a lot. So that means multiple hands, very strong intermediation on input side, very strong intermediation on output side. So, and then there is a opaqueness, you don't have a visibility. Once the product is harvested, once the produce is harvested, you don't have any visibility what is happening to it. You don't have price movement of price visibility. You don't have price volatility visibility. So both consumer and producer both are disconnected, and both don't have any kind of mechanism where they can see where the prices are good, where they should sell. I will talk on marketing more today. So the second problem is the strong intermediation. First problem is ever dropping holding size, and third is in our country the agriculture is a complete.
Sir, your slides are not moving, sir.
No, Abhi, I have not started. I'm
Okay,
just setting up the background.
Sure,
In
sir.
our country, most entire agri value chain from raw material supplier of inputs till consumption is a credit economy. I mean, farmers have to take input on credit, and input manufacturers have to take raw material on credit. And once the crop is raised, you have to sell it, you have to realize money. And in the forward value chain also, the street vendor have to take whatever produce they retail on credit for a day or two. So the whole value chain is credit oriented, but unfortunately we don't have instruments or products which serves this requirement of credit or finance. For example, I mean, we have around 9 crore plus credit cards, Kisan credit cards in this country. But unfortunately, 70% of the money available in these credit cards is used for non-agriculture purpose, because farmers have shifting priorities. Most of the money, most of the credit routed through Kisan credit cards is consumed into two purposes. One is education and second is healthcare. So it's not going to agriculture. So what I'm trying to tell you, there is no institutional credit availability. So these are three fundamental challenges. These are three fundamental challenges. These are three fundamental challenges with Indian agriculture. So that in 2014, government basically decided to work out a strategy document which was called Doubling the Farmer Income Committee. So they basically tried to build a strategy document for country for next 25 years, and they published 14 volumes. So the gist of that committee or the journal deduction was this: we should start reforming Indian agriculture from the place where farmers lose maximum value. So this place is nothing but where they will sell their produce, these mandis. India has a unique agriculture marketing system where in 50s and 60s we have created large infrastructures called agriculture marketing committee, marketing produce committees, APMCs. India has around 6,300 agriculture markets, APMCs or seasonal markets. Out of these, around 2,300 are very important markets, and they contribute more than 75% of the business. So Indian agriculture, if you look at it, it is around 350 to $400 billion market all put together. So then we thought, let us bring the transparency to the place where it hurts most, where the opaqueness is very dense. So that is how we decided to digitize this whole APMC ecosystem. So as a company, we did India's first market ERP in Punjab in 2011. 51 markets were digitized, partially digitized. Then the second step was done in Tamil Nadu, because these markets, once you have the whole market digitized and you have the entire system, entire set of activities inside a market digitized, then you really need to connect these markets with each other, so that the stakeholders can have a visibility what is happening in other markets also, and that helps you to take a decision. So when I was young, I'm coming from a village only. So when I was young, we used to know commodity prices only in the next day's newspaper. When I was a teenager, we used to get commodity prices, 5-10 commodities, in the night in one of the news program on radio. Later on TV, you can get 10-20 major commodity prices for that day in the TV. But now the things have moved. World lives in real time. You really want to see the things in real time. So the basic idea was to integrate these markets, remove opaqueness, and help stakeholders to take informed decisions. So I will start my presentation now. So as a company and as a professional, so I believe we strongly believe that agriculture production and markets, these are the backbones of all economies wherever you go, and are most profitable and predictable where visibility and choice are made the key features. So what we are trying to say here, agriculture production and markets. These two elements are the backbone of any economy, because food is important for human being. Food is important wherever the life is. So these two things are important, that you should have enough food, and then second thing, you should have healthy markets. So they are the backbone of economies, and they are most profitable, you can say, most balanced, where the visibility and choices are better. If you want to buy something and you have only limited choices, you are not going to get the best value. For example, before 1991, when we were a controlled economy, I know we were having only two cars in country predominantly. One was Ambassador, other was Fiat. So consumers were having very limited choice. One scooter which was called Bajaj, and everything was, there were no choices. So economy was also not growing. It was a controlled economy, controlled to free market. Free market basically invites more competition, encourages more players to come and add value. Just see the kind of choices you have today for these simple things which we call be it automobiles, be it telecom. We have the most affordable data on this globe. Internet, the kind of prices we get it nowhere on the world, on the globe you will get it on the same price what you get in India. So free markets are good for the development of any sector, and free markets are good for basically the generating value for all its participants. And unfortunately or fortunately, because our India lives in villages, after 1991 we reformed all the sectors, but somehow agriculture we choose to not to touch for long. So now slowly and cautiously policymakers are working on it. The idea is to make in agriculture also a free market, so that it can attract more talent, it can attract more investment, and the basic thing which is required is infrastructure. Today in India, we waste around 35% of our production, which is humongous, which is whatever we waste, post harvest waste in India is almost sufficient to meet out entire Africa's food requirement. So this is criminal. With a lot of effort, farmers are growing, and then we are unable to create infrastructure which can add value to this production and which can basically redistribute it. There are, as a country, if we look at it, we have enough to eat today. We have enough to meet out our food requirement. I don't deny that. In fact, we have more than that. Our reserve requirement is around 18 million ton, and we have more than 60 million ton reserves, which is sufficient for couple of years. But on the other side, if you look at it, we have food, but India is a carbohydrate country even today. Our less than 2% population is getting balanced food. So most of the people in India, they are dependent on carbohydrates. They don't have enough of proteins and fat in their diet. So we are not basically making our country a real sense true healthy country. So this need to be balanced out going forward. We are the largest producer of fruit and second largest producer of fruit and vegetable, largest producer of milk, but just see the per capita availability. So, but if you look at the production side, we don't have challenges. Those are required to address immediately. You have enough food. You have the better challenge towards your marketing side, your value add side. So why the farmers will grow more? Why the farmers will grow better if they don't get right kind of a realization? So that was the basic idea to start working on output side of the agri value chain. As a group, we are into plant nutrition. We have a urea manufacturing unit. We also have another 72 products which basically are distributed and sold across country. So this company is called Nagarjuna Fertilizers. We have a plant protection company. It is called Nagarjuna Agrochemicals. We have 3 plants of plant protection chemicals manufacturing. We have another company which basically deals with water management, Nagarjuna Micro Irrigation Systems. And finally, the farm gate is the technology arm of Nagarjuna Group, where we are working on agriculture technologies since 1999. iKisan was the first agri website which was set up by, erstwhile iKisan company of ours, which is now rebranded after Enam into FarmGate Technologies. So today, in today's presentation, we will quickly try to understand, why why you need a production to market driven approach. So far India as a country was concentrating to grow more and meet out its food requirement, meet out its raw material requirement, which comes from agriculture. So we have succeeded by and large. For most of the commodities, we are self-sufficient, we have surplus. Quality is a separate issue, and quality production perhaps is not an issue, but productivity is definitely an issue. Our paddy productivity is less than Bangladesh. Our cotton productivity is less than Pakistan. Our maize productivity is less than Burma. So you just should not claim that we are very great. So in terms of productivity also, there is a headroom, and we have enough headroom to improve productivity a lot. But those are the issues, those can be kept on hold for some time. First, we have to ensure that there is a transparent marketing system available in the country for the farmers, for the buyers, and for the sellers. So we will try to understand why the whole strategy is shifting from production to market driven. Then what is FarmGate and what we do at this company. Second thing, how agriculture technology is helping to transform this ecosystem fast. So today you must be witnessing, you must be seeing, Enam was launched on 14th of April 2015. So after 2015, you can see a lot of traction in startup ecosystem, agri startup ecosystem of the country. And you will see large number of IITians coming here, large number of engineers coming here, large number of engineering professionals, agri professionals coming here and trying to solve the problems. So we have to understand that. So what basically we were trying to say, so fundamentals of a free market ecosystem, as I explained you earlier also, you should have visibility. Visibility, if I don't have a visibility, I mean that I cannot say I have freedom, but it is more under recognized. For example, in some of the largest fruit and vegetable markets, a major commodity like apple is sold under the wrap of a cloth even today. All the traders will come there, they will put up a cloth over there, they will join hands, and then somehow they decide what price is to be given today. So for a particular lot. So visibility is the center to the freedom. Freedom, if you say I am free, I really need to have visibility. I cannot be, I have freedom to ask questions. I have freedom to see what I want to see. So this is visibility is the fundamental of a free market. Choice. If you don't have enough choice to buy, and if you have no enough choice to sell, that means, if you are doing a forced selling, all of us know agriculture is a highly seasonal, climate dependent, weather dependent issue. So, I mean, if I have to sell my 6 months, labor under distress, and I'm forced to sell under, constraints, that means, I'm not being given a right choice when I want to sell. So visibility is important, choice is important. And if you look at the mature markets, successful markets in terms of agriculture or others, you will see these two elements working there predominantly. So India, agriculture in India, if we try to do a SWOT analysis here, we have, strengths. I would say we have the area of improvements. You can call it weakness, and then opportunities and threats. So, like you say, India is a unique country. You will find all the seasons, all the weathers, all kind of soils. You will have all kind of geographical, areas. You have everything you have in this country, from deserts to hills to you name it. So, and we are sitting on one of the largest, globally largest, uh, uh, largest pack of arable land, and you have a unique advantage of taking 3 to 4 crops or 2 to 3 crops, or even in your rain-fed area, at least you can take one crop. So strong and well-dispersed research and extension system. So you have rich biodiversity, arable land, largest, one of the largest piece of cultivable land, and then climate, strong and well-dispersed research and extension system, which we have developed in last 6 decades. So where we say, the challenges are, like I said, fragmentation of land. Unfortunately, technology could not intervene much into agriculture so far. Whatever technology we see in agriculture, it is more on input side. It is more on, cultivation side. It is not on the value add side. It is not on the marketing side. And especially, information technology somehow could not basically play its role so far in agriculture that could have made a lot of difference. And then we waste a lot of water. We all of us know we have to go a long way in terms of, our water management practices. In some of the pockets we have excess water. In a larger area of the country, we are struggling to have even survival kind of stuff. So we really need to improve a lot in terms of our water management. Infrastructure, I have already mentioned, this simply does not exist in our country. We don't have enough of cold chains. We don't have enough of, scientific warehousing. We don't have, the kind of an enabler you are required to do the primary value add at the field. So we have to start work on that. And there is almost negligible value addition to our, production. So opportunities, like I said, visible yield crops. So I mean, there is enough escape and enough headroom to improve your crop yields. And then yes, government is very bullish now. Exports. We were having something around $20 billion kind of agri exports, which were stagnant for long. In last 2 years, we have already crossed 45 billion, and government is targeting to cross 60 billion by the next year. So this is another thing. So we will move forward. We say current trends in powering agriculture in India. So you must be witnessing, government is focusing a lot on agriculture for last 4, 5, 6 years. So government is trying to reform the various, for example, our pesticide act, our input, marketing, they were redundant. The FAFCO was made in 1952, but it is still prevailing only on amendments. A lot has changed in terms of regulatory requirements in the country. So first is agriculture reforms. Second is push from production to market-oriented approach. And third is focus on exports, shift to digital, shift to nutritional consumption, and then supply chain renewal. These are the important elements to reform any sector, if you really want to move ahead. So we will try to understand, how agriculture markets have evolved globally. So market 1.0 was completely near to the field. Farmers will harvest, and what you used to call hearts, a nearby space, they will bring their produce, and consolidators will come and they will take it away. And then those hearts basically down the lane, they were converted into physical infrastructures, what we call mandis today. So you find all these APMCs. Conventionally, these APMCs are mapped to few villages, and farmers from these villages, they will bring their produce to these mandis. And inside the mandis, you will find commission agents and some of the traders, those who deal with those who deal with specific commodities, and basically they decide the fate or the price of a commodity brought into the market. Means not much of intense demand and supply play or price discovery opportunity. So market 2.0 was automation of these physical markets. So in other geographies, developed world, this has market 2.0 was basically arrived sometimes in after 1980, and after 1990 they were moved into kind of a automation, kind of a digitization. For example, Amsterdam flower market, it was completely electronic auction, and some degree of digitization, some degree of transparency was established. People can come to the market, they can see the price movement inside the market, and then they can take a call whether to sell today or tomorrow. They can store their material inside the market. These all were the attributes of market 2.0. 3, the 2.0. Market 3.0 was linking all these digitized market, which I talked to you. First you digitize a standalone market, and then you basically link all these markets with each other so that you can have a visibility across geographies. Market 4.0 is will be in true sense when the whole agri ecosystem gets connected seamlessly into e-commerce, and farmers are free to sell wherever they want. 5.0 markets we see when the kinds of pre-Amazon era or Amazon, part of Amazon era, where you can transact seamlessly on a platform, and you are enabled also. If you don't have money, somebody will come and finance you, enable you to make transaction, enable you to make basically deliveries. So market 6.0 will be when in true sense when the producer and consumers are synced into each other. So this is how we foresee markets will be evolving going forward. So I will skip these quickly because these recent reforms which was proposed, they were positioned towards making, for example, in India, agriculture is a state subject, and each state have its unique set of agriculture commodities, and what? So they have unique set of commodities, and they have unique set of regulation also. So in some of the states, you need mandi-wise license. In some states, after reforms, they have basically opted for unified license for the state. So means buying and selling of agri commodity continues to be a critical affair. And what we call pre-reform era, which was prevailing, license quota Raj prevailing before 1991, the same kind of a situation we have to deal with here in agriculture today, even after almost how many 30 years. So these laws were basically positioned to move towards the direction of a more free market, and creating better infrastructure and attracting more investments. So in any case, they have been withdrawn. There were concerns from the states, and I'm sure that policymakers are working for something which is acceptable to everyone. See, a country like India has a huge dependence on investments, and any sector they really need to make themselves as a quite investment attractive. I have been nominated as a vice chair of ASSOCHAM. ASSOCHAM, one of the largest India's one of the largest trade body where more than 2,500 companies operate. And I see sectors like telecom, sectors like pharma, sectors like automobile. You take any one, urban sectors, they are very, very united, and they voice their concern for the improvement of for the basically enhancing more value to their consumers and their users. So agriculture also, going forward, really need to look at the things which will make it better for coming generations. So that will not happen in one day. We have to take some hard decisions. someone did for us something maybe 200 years back, 100 years back, 50 years back. That is how we are sitting here today. So it is our responsibility to think whatever we can contribute for the upcoming, for the good of this planet, for the good of our future generations, for the good of our country. So I will come back here. Catalyst of market-driven farming. There is a mandi ecosystem. I have already explained you. The mandi ecosystem in country is very strong. It is very defined, and it's working for long. But somehow it failed to bring that kind of a transparency which is required. So to basically reform or transform within the mandi ecosystem, we are working on e-national agriculture market, what we call ENA. And then there is a large ecosystem outside the mandi also, where consolidators will purchase from farm gate, or they will consolidate the small lots in states like Odisha, and then they consolidate these lots, and they bring these lots to mandi. So the project one which we are doing is for the transformation of mandi ecosystem in the country. Project two is I will call pilot, to transform or to set up the systems for outside the mandi ecosystem. The final idea is to serve farmers at farm gate. Why someone should come to a market to sell his output? They should be empowered, and they should be basically facilitated to sell their produce from their farms only. So in Andhra Pradesh, government has come up with a unique policy, unique strategy, I would rather say, for the transformation of their state agriculture. So they are creating a village level infrastructure which is called Raitu Bharosa Center. Raitu is equivalent to farmer, what we call Jamidar in Punjab and Haryana, or Kisan in Uttar Pradesh, or Jodhar in some of the other states. So each village have a farmer Bharosa Center, Raitu Bharosa Center. And then the idea is, see, agriculture, if you look at it in Indian agriculture, most of the value add is happening away from the farm. So when value add happens away from the farm, the value is not coming back to farmer. It is being basically taken away by the people, those who are involved in it. So our idea is to basically what we used to call farm to fork. Now the time has come when we should talk about fork to farm. Means farm need to grow what fork want. So what is being consumed, if you grow that, probably you will be better safe than the volatility you face in agriculture commodity prices. So these are the two projects which we are doing right now. So at Farmgate, this is how we are placed. We have these new age companies. These companies, one company, Fertis is a company which we set up about 4 years back, but it has got a R&D of around 20 years effort. In Hyderabad, we have an R&D center where more than 100 scientists are working for last 15 years. And as a company, we have got 254 patents in plant nutrition and plant protection segments. So the idea is to commercialize, idea is to domesticate these products, and Fertis basically is positioned on crop and stage specific plant nutrition. And the theme is right quantity at right time, right thing at right time. So we can basically reduce cost a lot, production cost a lot, and we can basically, we have spoiled our soils a lot. Our nutrient management is completely imbalanced. So that has to be, that balance has to be restored one day. So Fertis will continue to work on improving nutrition. And we all know wherever the life is, if you take right nutrition, your resistance towards, disease, pest, insects, improves a lot. So this is the basic concept. Second thing, we have another company called Farmgate. Farmgate is basically complete agri business value chain expert. Farmgate is working on developing new age, technologies for the good of agriculture, good of Indian agriculture. For example, we are basically working on 9 projects with 10 IITs on various problems. And these projects are either AI, artificial intelligence, machine vision, high-end computing, all that stuff, which is which is which makes decision making better, and which gives you a better accuracy wherever required. The third company is Nebula, and then logistics. Logistics is a supply chain company, and all these are digital interventions. For example, Nebula. Nebula is a company set up by IIT Jodhpur students. And when you are establishing a market, a virtual market, where you basically transact digitally. So I'm sitting here in Delhi. You guys must be somewhere in Punjab, Haryana, or Andhra Pradesh. And if we want to buy and sell, the first thing, which is the first constraint, is how do we quantify the quality? If I don't know the quality of the goods which you want to sell, and if I don't have that trust and confidence, the transaction will never happen. Unfortunately, in case of agriculture, the quality assaying, quality quantification so far was highly manual. So in markets like Moga, where more than 20,000 lots, or Sirsa, or Marialguda, where in the season, harvesting season, or for example, Karnal. So in a harvesting season, you will receive more than 20,000 lots in a day. So how do you test each lot? How do you quantify each lot? And if you don't quantify, then farmers are not going to get quality-based price, number one. Number two, buyer will never have a confidence. So at Nebula, we have developed a product which is called MAT. It is a patented product. In less than 1 minute, you get 99% accurate and 99% repeatable. Means if you repeat the same sample again and again, you will get the same result. For 31 major grain commodities. So, and each grain is tagged. So now, quality is quantified, which is the first enabler for a digital trade, or a remote trade, or electronic trade. And so, in fact, if a transaction is happening, somebody is selling, somebody is buying, then 2-3 things. Any marketplace, any digital marketplace, any e-commerce marketplace, they do 4-5 fundamental things. Number one, they will give more options to buy and sell to its users. Number two, they will enable the transaction. If I am on Amazon today and I want to buy a TV, definitely, and I don't have money. So I have options, I can go for zero cost EMI. There are the companies, dedicated finance companies, those who work, to enable me to do that, particular transaction. So first thing is more options to buy and sell. Second thing is enablement of transaction. Third thing is transaction settlement, that buyer should pay and seller should get, seller should get the payments. That is called transaction settlement. So somebody buy, somebody sold, and then finally the goods are supposed to be delivered. So that is called transaction enablement and transaction settlement. So for that, you need a complete electronic system, a complete digital system, where buyer and sellers have full visibility, where all fintech companies can come and basically customize products to the requirement of the value chain, be it farm finance or be it trade finance. So logistics basically is the most comprehensive logistic platform which we are building, and it takes care of all types of logistics requirement. It takes care of warehousing, it takes care of road, rail, marine, you name it. So everything is being done there. You have to just board the platform, and then you put up your requirement, and you are done with it. So this is our fundamentals. We say we quantify the quality, and the moment we come to know if a farmer is bringing produce to the market, quality is quantified, quality is assayed, then it is our responsibility to give that farmer a feedback in case if there is a headroom to improve that quality further. And this all came in my mind when we were basically piloting Nebula in Barabanki market. So there were 4 or 5 farmers, they bring their produce, and one farmer gets 100 rupees quintal more than the other. basis, our quality assaying report, digital quality assaying report produced from MET. So this farmer who gets, less price, he comes to me and he asks, you have downgraded my product. You have told that my product is not as good as the other farmers, but how to improve it? How I can improve it? How I can be better than him or at least equivalent to him? We are from the same village. Then we thought just knowing the quality and quantifying the quality is not enough. We have to go back to this guy and tell how you can improve, how you can basically improve your agronomic practices so that you get a better quality and better realization next time. So this diagram tells you at FarmGate, we help farmers to give access to more markets. We help them to get the right kind of a price discovery, price visibility in real time, transparent trade, ease of trade, pan-India reach, outside the market, inside the markets, real time agri produce quality feedback and R&D also. If we see some problem in some of the produce, for example, cumin, we observed a unique problem this year. Immediately we sensitize our R&D and as well as the public R&D system, with government R&D system. This is a new thing which we could detect. So we have to work upon it before the next season or in the coming seasons. So this is our whole business model. So at FarmGate, we take care of marketing side of the business, and at Fertis, we take care of the nutrition and production side of the business. So National Agriculture Market, integration, this scheme was launched by Honorable Prime Minister. And ENAM today, if you look at ENAM is one of the 6 priority program of the country. It is a Prime Minister Office project. It is owned by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, and it is implemented by SFAC. We have got this project basis our experience, our investment since 1999 till 2014 on improving or digitizing the agri marketing systems in the country in a competitive bid. So ENAM 1 basically was from 2015 to 2020. We have again got ENAM for another 5 years from 2021 to 2025. So the objective of ENAM, primary objective of ENAM was one market, one nation. At least, we should be able to create a nationwide agriculture market where farmers can buy, farmers can sell seamlessly, and buyers can buy, with a lot of ease. So today, ENAM, in 1,000 markets, you can see the price movement in real time during the trading window. So these were the 5 major objectives: creating a unified national market, transparent price discovery through electronic bidding. That means minimal, almost zero manual intervention, priced, quality-based pricing, and digital operations for enhanced efficiency and transparency, and real-time data resolving information or asymmetry issues. So ENAM today is world's largest, agri spot market, and it is the largest, agri digitization program ever attempted in agriculture. And then if you look at ENAM today, we have integrated 1,000 markets across country, and we are going to add another 1,000 markets in next 2 years. So today, if you look at ENAM, we have crossed almost 58.5 million metric ton. 5 crore 85 lakh metric ton trading we have achieved on ENAM in last 4 years. 5 crore 85 lakh metric ton, and total value is $27 billion plus. The total transaction value happened on ENAM till date is humongous, $27 billion. It is more than Flipkart and Amazon put together in country, and this is the power of agriculture, I want to tell you guys. So today 193 commodities are trading on the platform. More than 400 plus varieties are trading on the platform. We have more than 20 million stable farmer base. 2 crore farmers have used this platform more than 8 times in last 3 years. In 6 seasons, more than 2 crore farmers have used this platform, you know, in last 6 seasons. So these are stable users, what we call. And if you look at the registrations, we have done 3.3 million, 3.3 crore farmers, 33 million farmers. Registration is there. Out of that, 20 million plus. In fact, the exact number till last season was 1.7 million. It has jumped to 20 million recently. So if you look at, commission agents and other service providers, we have close to 2,64,000 commission agents, traders, laborers, etc. Operating here. We have onboarded 2,140 plus FPOs. You must be knowing about FPOs. FPO is a new concept. Basically, in China, this has been implemented long back after 2006 onwards. So FPO is the solution, for your dropping holding size. Means cooperatives were always there, but FPO is kind of creating a proper company where farmers are the stakeholders, farmer producing organization. So the concept is to consolidate, their input demand and consolidate, their small lots. So farmers should have more negotiation power while purchasing inputs and while selling their output, and then it brings a lot of efficiency. If a 2-acre farmer, is maintaining a large tractor, I don't think it's a good, decision from a business perspective or from a livelihood perspective. Means you have to optimize resource utilization, be it water, be it machinery, or water, or be it purchase of inputs, or be it sell of output. So we are working currently with more than 2,000 FPOs, and these 1,000 markets are spread across 18 states and 3 union territories. So far, this number is old. In the next slide, you can see we have crossed this year more than 5,000 trainings. Last financial year, we have done more than 5,000 trainings to different stakeholders. So this is the state-wise distribution of mandis. You can see, states like Uttar Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, they have more than 100 markets, and then MP, AP, and southern states have, like Telangana 57, Andhra 33, and then Tamil Nadu 63, Kerala 6. So ENAM has presence everywhere till Jammu Kashmir, and barring only Northeast. Northeast, we are working on a separate digital marketplace. So this is the process flow inside the ENAM. So one-time registration is there, and when farmer comes to the gate, there is a gate entry, and the lot farmer registration is a one-time activity, and then lot generation happens. Multiple farmers can bring one commodity in one vehicle, and one farmer can bring multiple commodities in one vehicle. So lots are to be formed. They have to declare approximate weight of the commodities they have brought to the market. Once the lots are formed, the sample goes for assaying. Out of 1,000 markets, we have created physical assaying. 970 markets today have physical assaying laboratories. But I told you, physically testing, each sample is very difficult and it's not going to work. So that is how this digital testing becomes very, very important, because it takes a little time, very, very less time as compared to conventional manual, quality assaying. And then second thing, it has got a great accuracy, like I said, 99%. So once the assaying is done, then the lot goes for bidding. Online bidding is done, and after bidding, farmer can accept or reject the bid. If we accept the bid, then payment and invoicing is generated, and then payment happens, and finally gate entry, gate exit, receipt is generated. So in ENAM today, we have all modes of online payment: challan, check, internet banking, debit card, RTGS, NEFT, BHIM, you name it, everything is there. So farmers can get their payment. Whatever electronic payments are happening on the platform, they get 99% payment in less than 24 hours. So this is again some statistics. So you can see here that number of trainings is more than 5,000 for last financial year. So these show the expense of the activities which we are doing right now. So if you look at it in last 5 years, more than 1.61 crore lots have been assayed or quality checked. So this is how the things are placed. So these are few other modules of ENAM. For example, like we say, there is a instrument called warehouse, WDRI, warehouse deposit repository system. In WDRI, farmers are not, if you all of us know when harvesting happens, there is more supply in the markets and prices are bottom rock. So this instrument was floated 15 years back to give farmers a holding power, not to sell their produce in distress at the time of harvesting. So by design, farmers can put their material, their commodities, their produce into WDRI approved warehouses, and against the warehouse receipt, they can get 70% of the fair price value immediately, so that they can meet out their, they can set off their previous debts, previous loans which they might have taken for raising this crop, and they can buy inputs for the next crop, and they can sell when prices are firming a little bit in the future. Because food, I mean, you harvest in 30 days and you basically do sowing in 30 days, but it is food. The consumption will increase over a period of time. So prices will also increase over a period of time. So if you have that holding power, you can choose to sell when prices are better than at the time of harvesting. So all these modules are made and integrated. Today, if you download ENAM application and you want to see the price movement in 50-kilometer radius, so if you want to see that what is happening, in a radius of 25 kilometer around me or 50 kilometer around me, you can see the prices and then you can filter it. You need not to see the whole markets. You want to see cotton prices, you can see cotton prices in 50-kilometer radius, 25-kilometer radius, 100-kilometer radius. So the idea is, in the future, platform should be able to tell farmers, for today or for last 7 days, which is the best market to sell your produce, in case if you really want to sell. But the idea going forward is to take the whole course of activities away from market and to the farm gate. So now many of the startups, they are working on developing mobile based assaying applications. You just take a picture and upload it, and it will tell you the kind of a quality this particular lot has, so that buyer has a convenience to basically make a bid. So these are the modules which today ENAM has. And then application 12, the portal is available in 12 languages. And then, like I said, you can take 360-degree image of your produce or that heap, and then it can go for auction. So these are few features. I mean, a lot of features are there. You can see once your lot is put up for auction, you can see how it is moving, how many bids have come. I want to tell you people that when we started ENAM, we used to get 1.4 bid per lot. Today, the average is 6.8 bid per lot. And once we basically facilitate intermandi and intergeography trade, this will go minimum 4 times more. Our idea is each lot should get 25 buyers minimum. But because of licensing, regulatory requirement, movement restrictions, these are the challenges which are more of policy and regulation between states, which is basically constraining ENAM to become a real national market or seamless national market. It's not easy. If I am a buyer, I have to procure license in each mandi in few of the states. So it's quite cumbersome. So these 3 laws were placed to basically seam out, all those constraints which basically today are not allowing to create a national market where anyone can buy from anywhere and anyone can sell, from anywhere. So these are the features which you will find in any e-commerce market. if whatever you find on Amazon, you will find almost the same kind of a parallel facilitation here also. So now the going forward, now we have got the ENAM 2. ENAM 2, I told you in India today, close to more than 500 agri startups are working to solve different problems, and we want to integrate all platforms to ENAM. So when you see, ENAM 2 will be a platform of platforms. So all private platforms can come, plug in their APIs, they can get connected to ENAM, and then, for example, a platform may be highly regional. There somebody might be working or trying to improve things in Punjab only, but they want to have the visibility of national price movement. So you can come and integrate with ENAM. ENAM, the whole objective is ENAM is a public platform, and everyone has equal right to use whatever ENAM has to offer. So all the service providers, when I say service providers, you have finance companies, you have banks, you have logistic companies, transporters, warehouse operators, ever want to serve the ecosystem, they can come here and basically have a national play, national visibility without much of effort. And then all kind of a trading platform can come here, all kind of a knowledge platform can come here. So we have integrated 40 platforms so far. Most of the major upcoming startups are here. For example, we have integrated Bija, we are integrating assaying companies, we are integrating logistic companies, etc. So these are few snippets, pictures, of activities inside these markets. So you can see e-farm market is again the same. Whatever you have seen for ENAM, the same kind of activities are being done at farm gate. So idea is, like I said, to take ENAM to the farm gate. This is what the e-farm market is. So I mean, the moment a transaction is done and buyer says, I need logistic service, I need transportation, I need warehousing. So they have to push a button and immediately that lead is circulated, and then the service providers can walk in and they basically quote rates and service is enabled. So Nebula, I have already told you, this is the challenges of manual quality testing, quite cumbersome, unreliable and time consuming conventional system. So the physical analyzer, which we call MAT, basically we have deployed MAT in 7 states, and seed industry, millers, FMCG, exporter, feed, retail, etc. So MAT, basically you have to put the sample inside the machine, and immediately a picture is taken by the machine and it analyzes each grain and segment that, the whole sample, and you get the result immediately within 1 minute. This product is Google supported. Google supported
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir. I think you are muted from your side.
some problem, some glitch.
Yes, sir, now it's.
So the MAT application, suppose exports or imports. So you, or for example, remotely, me and Dr. Piyush, Piyush want to sell some gram and I'm sitting in Hyderabad, Piyush may be in Chandigarh. We do quality assaying of, my lots, and then basically you quote, I accept, and then you make a payment, and I basically calls for the logistic services. So the payment made will sit in a escrow account, correct? The moment you receive goods and you say, I have received goods, whatever for I have paid, ये वही चीज है जिसके लिए मैंने पैसा दिया है. Immediately escrow account will release the money. But farmers need money in real time. So now banks are coming forward, they take this risk. By the time you release payment, they will release payment to farmers immediately. So a lot of experiments are happening in case of finance and logistics. what we could achieve in ENAM 1, we could achieve basically, we have expanded the window of buying and selling. You have somehow from 1.2 bids per lot to 6.8 bids per lot. And then you can have the visibility in real time. Yesterday, we have registered around 468 transactions per minute. This was the last day's data. So at least you download the app and you can see the price movement. In the states where they have implemented it properly, there is a greater degree of variability in ENAM implementation. I want to share with you guys. Few states have done exceedingly well. For example, Telangana, 100% trade is being done through ENAM only. And farmers are getting in ENAM mandi, not all the mandis are ENAM mandi, mind it. But farmers are getting 5 to 8% better realization. Cotton, last to last week, they received something around 10,500 against the 6,600 and 7,600 of a non-ENAM market. So, transparency gives confidence to seller and as well as to the buyer. So if you quantify the quality properly, so the confidence levels are very high. But unfortunately, ENAM implementation quality differs from state to state. And it is purely a state subject, and the will of a particular state counts a lot, how much transparency they want to bring in the system. So this logistics, I have already told you, it's a digital platform, real-time information, analytic tools, franchisee network across country, and sale in other mandis and states. So, like I said in the beginning, typically,
can you please sum up? Our next speaker has already joined.
So I think this is what I have to share. That's not an issue. And it was done on a very on the go kind of a mode. So the idea was just to give you an idea about startup ecosystem in the country. So you can see these are the different fields where startups are working. Marketplace, you have 400, 500. All put together, you can see the large number of players are coming here and try to solve different problems. So we can cover that sometimes later on. This is the whole mosaic of startups, agri startups in country today. I'm very happy to see this happening in agriculture. Right? Any questions?
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening all of us with your vast knowledge and informative presentation on market-driven agriculture along with various marketing systems, sir. Although the session was very nice and a few queries we have received from the participants, but seeing the shortage of the time, we will, sir, communicate the queries to you later on.
Not an issue. Anyone, you can circulate I have a public mail ID. Anyone who want to basically, anyone who want any kind of guidance, support, doubt clarification is welcome.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
It was indeed a pleasure to listen to your nice presentation, and we would be pleased to see you soon in another training also, sir.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you, sir.
I would also like to have feedback that will help me to improve it next, because I deal with a lot of spectrum of audience mix. So that helps to be better next time. Yes, hi, Lucio. Sorry, I make you wait for a few minutes. Okay.
Thank you, sir. As our second speaker, Padma Lakshmi ma'am has joined, I would like to request and invite Rishi to please carry on with the second session. Please, Rishi, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Piyush. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible and visible.
Thank you, Dr. Piyush. So as you were just listening to Tyagi sir, and it was indeed a very informative lecture. My name is Rishi Jaryal, and I welcome you to the second session of this day. Now, moving quickly with the program, the next guest that we have today is a very prominent, active and energetic personality. Please welcome Dr. Padma Lakshmi, who's currently working as an assistant professor of agricultural economics at the Vellore Institute of Technology, which is one of the finest institutes in India for engineering and technology. Ma'am, you are an alumnus of Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, and the realm of your specialization includes resource and environmental economics and agricultural marketing. You have so many research articles, book chapters, popular articles and books on your name. Today, it is a matter of immense pride and fortune that you are present here with all of us to discuss about the current priorities and needs in the agriculture sector. I welcome you on the behalf of the entire team of the organizers of this program and the audience. Please share with us your knowledge, expertise, and thoughts, and motivate us so that we can also contribute our bits to lead Indian agriculture and make it highly strengthened. Please, ma'am, join us now. The platform is all yours and we are all yours. Welcome, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity provided. So thank you for the warm welcome too. I thank everyone for giving me this opportunity. And so today I'll just share you the screen so that I can start my presentation.
Sure.
I hope my slides are visible.
Yes, ma'am, definitely.
Okay. Sorry. So very good evening, everyone. The topic itself is Agriculture 3.0. So we have several O's. So 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, it goes on. So there is no end for agriculture. So I have preferred to talk on digital marketing, which is the hot topic of the day. So it is mainly for shaping the future. So before entering into this topic, we should know what is agriculture 1.0, agriculture 2.0, and agriculture 3.0. So we have several phases, obviously. So I think the slides are moving. It is in the second slide, sir. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So the first agriculture 1.0, so it was started after the independence. So it was between 1947 to 1966. So mainly it concentrates on radical land reforms. So wherein we had 4 land reforms. The first one is abolition of intermediaries. So we had several systems. We have zamindari system, we had Ryotwari system. So several things were there. So wherein we found more of landlords. So we people were still holding small pieces of land and we completely depend upon these landlords. So the first agriculture 1.0, the main concept of the land reforms is first one is the abolition of intermediaries. Then tenancy reforms. So we have many tenant method of cultivation. So we had, so it was tenancy of reforms. Then fixing ceiling on land holdings and as well as the consolidation of land holdings. So these are the 4 which comes under the radical land reforms. Then when coming to the next one, that is agriculture 2.0, so which is during the period of Green Revolution. So we were not self-sufficient during the time when the agriculture 1.0 was happening. So what happened is our main, the intention or the main objective is to increase the productivity so that we can self-sustain ourselves. So this agriculture 2.0, it mainly concentrates on towards increasing the farm productivity and also reducing the foreign food dependence. So which means that we don't want to import many of the commodities from other countries, rather we can produce by ourselves. So that is the main concept of this agriculture 2.0. Then the next comes the agriculture 3.0, so which we are going to have in the future years. So which is the need of the hour. So previously we were focusing only on productivity. We have not, we didn't expect more about the conservation of natural resources or self-sustainability. So now we are more concentrated towards the climate adoption, the climate change factors, the environmental factors, then the sustainability index. So we have many, we are just moving towards from the subsistence agriculture towards the sustainable agriculture. So that is what it concentrates on, agriculture 3.0. So it needs to balance the productivity and also the economics, because how much amount we invest, so the same more than that we have to get as an output, so that the farmers will be getting more profit out of them. So which is obviously the objective of our increasing or doubling the farmers' income by 2022. So this is what agriculture 3.0. It is about to start and it is on progress. So we have several innovations that needs to be introduced in farming 3.0. So the first one is smart farm machinery. So what is meant by smart farm machinery? So which is nothing but producing more output by using less amount of inputs. So the same sustainability concept, it acts over here. So using several smart machineries as well as technological breakthroughs so that the yield will be increased and the cost will be reduced. The production cost will be reduced, which rather increases the farmer's income. So this is what the smart farm machinery it acts upon. We need to have it. Then the next one is your micro irrigation. So I think you all know the slogan of micro irrigation. It is more crop per drop. So wherein we are interested or we are intended to conserve the water resources, mainly in the area where it is very scarce. So with the use of micro irrigation facilities, either drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation or rain gun, so we want to conserve the water and at the same time we wish to improve our productivity with more efficient cultivation activities. Then the next one is quite common. It is precision farming. So the precision farming, it mainly assesses the real-time data series of all the crops, soil, as well as the water, so that whenever the crop requires or whether if there is any scarcity of something like any nutritional deficiencies or something it happens to the farm or the soil, then obviously we can give the proper health, optimum health can be provided so that it targets each and every crops. So which improves the productivity of the crops as well. Then the next one is the digital platforms. So I think everyone is very familiar with the digital platforms. So it is mainly to reduce the number of intermediaries between the market. Why? Because now, even though the farmers produce more and more amount of commodities even with the good quality aspects, but still they are in the problem of marketing the produce. So there is no proper platform, or there are n number of intermediaries who is acting between the farmers and the consumers. So this digital platform, it helps the farmers to recognize themselves that by directly providing information regarding what type of crops they are growing or what are the cultivation aspects they are growing, either whether it is moving with the fertilizer application or whether it is grown in a natural or organic way. So we have several digital platforms. So that is what we are going to discuss in the future slides. And the fourth disruptive innovations we would like to have, the fifth disruptive innovations we would like to have in the farming 3.0 was partnering the stakeholders. Mere production is not going to be a good thing. So we should partner ourselves so that everyone will get involved over that. So a team activity, a teamwork will be built so that all the necessary activities and the effect and the efficient production of the commodities can be generated, can be initiated. Like stakeholders in the sense, the research institutes can be involved or the public people can be involved. So whenever we have any discussions or whenever we have any policy decisions which is related to agriculture, so not only the higher officials will be engaged, so obviously the people who are in the business aspects, so the public people, say for example, if it is a farming, then we have the farmers over here, then we have several startups, then we have several research scientists and many of the higher cadres. So all these people, they will join together and they will try to take out the policy decision. So this is what the partnering stakeholders is. So this has to be strengthened so that the top level management, so from the top level till the bottom, till the grassroots level, so what are all the things that is happening, what are all the problems that is being faced by different people in different cadre, so that can be sorted out so that people will get good information and good knowledge and how to move, solve the problems in a very easier way. So these are the 5 disruptive innovations we would like to have in agriculture 3.0. So, the simple thing is we want to move from the subsistence agriculture towards the sustainable agriculture. Then I would like to discuss today about the digital marketing. So we have n number of names for digital marketing. So we have digital marketing, we have e-marketing. So several things we have. So the marketing, which is nothing but it is just movement of the commodities from the producer to the consumer. But if it comes with the digital marketing, so that involves another one component, which is nothing but your electronic media. So obviously we have internet. So nowadays we have good internet connectivity. So even after COVID, so during COVID and after COVID, now we are very much sophisticated or we are very much connected towards the internet. So not even through any like how we have now the Zoom platform. So I don't think like before this COVID we don't have any such things like Zoom or anything else, or we don't have a good access to it. But now we people are moving towards a more digital economy. So the same thing. So this digital marketing also can help in increasing the agricultural income to the farmers. So when we see this graph, so over a period from 2017 to 2022, so we can find that the revenue has increased with means during this digital marketing, the revenue has increased rapidly. So from 86 billion Indian rupee during 2017 to around 250 billion rupees. So which means that most of the people are moving towards the digital marketing aspects. But still, so we have several sectors. Obviously, we have agricultural sector, we have industrial sector, as well as we have service sector. So this agricultural sector, so even since we are in agriculture, we still have some lower adoption rate with regard to the digital marketing. So which is somewhere around 78%. When compared to industries, it is around 88% because they are towards the digital. I mean, they are moving. They are fast forward towards the digital marketing. So this 78% we have to increase towards either 99.9% or whatever, so that everyone will get will get good prices for their produce. Okay. So the next one. So even though we talk about the digital marketing, everything, but there may be several challenges we face during this digital marketing. The first and the foremost is the infrastructure facilities. So even we have developed ourselves in our internet environment or the digital environment. Our farmers will still face some of the infrastructure facilities like where to store the produce. So if at all the digital marketing, so it may take some time. Not everyone will immediately get to purchase the produce. So we will obviously analyze everything. So it takes some time. So they have to go with good storage facilities, good godowns or good warehouses, and there should be a proper transportation facilities so that the products can be transported. Then the next one is your connectivity issues. So connectivity issues in the sense mainly the internet connectivity. So it is so even we say we have good connectivity issues, and India is the second topmost internet users in the world, but still in the remote areas we don't have proper connectivity. I think many of you will be facing if you go towards a remote environment. So that has to be that has to be clarified, or that has to be corrected, so that every people can access to the internet at a very faster rate. Then the next one is reluctant to switch to alternate channels. So we people, mostly in India, like the Indian countries, like developing countries, so we people, first of all, we have more areas under the marginal farmers and the small farmers when compared to the middle and the large farmers. So what happens here is, so mostly our country, most of the farmers are laggards, so wherein they don't want to move towards any of the technological aspects. So what happens here? So they are not ready to move towards the digital marketing because they want to go, they are habituated with providing the commodities to the intermediaries like either wholesalers or commission agents. So they were habituated with that. So they were reluctant, or they are very much afraid of moving towards the digital marketing, because even we are still educated some 7 or 8 years before, we are somewhat confused whether to go for purchasing the commodities or purchasing any of the things from the online marketing platforms like Amazon or any Flipkart or anything else. So the same thing, it happens with the farmers as well. So these are some of the major challenges that is being faced in the digital marketing. Then the next one is the advantages. So what will be the advantages if the farmer or if the agribusiness person, if they enters into the digital market? So the first one is disintermediation of middlemen. So it is not possible always that it is not possible to, to completely eliminate the middlemen. So we can just try to reduce the number of intermediaries between the channels. So this digital marketing, it helps in reducing the number of middlemen or number of intermediaries between the farmers and the producers and the consumers. Then the next one is growth and transfer of technology. So if we are good with the knowledge, or if we are good with using access to the internet or access with any of the digital platforms, then I think it's easy for us to move with the good knowledge, because every people, they will try to know what is happening. So if we have, say for example, we have WhatsApp. So if we get some knowledge over there, so obviously people will be more interested, or they will be forwarding it to the next people, so that everyone will share their knowledge. Okay, so the same thing that happens. So if you are digitally marketing in a platform, so it will be shared to the next people who are in need of it. So obviously it transfers as well as it increases the knowledge between the people. Then the next one is ability to connect to a wider audience. So we have several social medias. So say for example, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, several things are there. So if something is being posted, so obviously it reaches the whole target audience. So this digital platform similarly, so if we are if we are uploading something which we want to market it, so immediately everyone will start. This means it is visible to everyone, so that people will be knowing what is available with the farmers as well as the people or the startups who are working with the agribusiness industries. So how about the traditional marketing we had previously? So as I was discussing previously, so this is a small channel, so wherein we have farmers, then the intermediaries will be your wholesaler. So if at all the commodity requires processing, it has to be given to the processing industries, then to the wholesaler, and the wholesaler will give it to the retailing industries, retailing shops, and at last it reaches the consumers. So what happens with this traditional marketing? So what happens to the producers' share in the consumer's rupee? So what does mean by producers' share in the consumer's rupee? So say, for example, I'm purchasing 1 kg of onion for 40 rupees. So whether the same 40 rupees is being received by the farmer, so it is not. Okay, either he may receive 15 rupees or 20 rupees. So around 25 or 20 to 25 rupees, it is being eaten up by the wholesalers, processors, or retailers. So what happens obviously, so since there are more number of intermediaries who is acting between the farmers and the consumers, the producers' share in the consumers' rupee will start reducing. I mean, there will be less amount of money that will be given to the farmer. So this is what the traditional marketing is going on. But now we are moving into a digital platform. So wherein the farmers, they are harvesting or they are reaping their commodities and they are making it available in the digital platform, either through either in any social medias or whatever. So we have several medias over there. So they will be just they will just describe everything and how it can be purchased. Everything will be described over there, so that people can directly purchase, so that the consumers can directly purchase from the digital platform. So what happens? Obviously, the producer's price or the amount that the farmers receive through this using the digital platform will be increasing, which obviously increases the farmer's income. So when we discuss about the marketing, so obviously we have 4 P's of marketing. So the first one is product. So what product you are going to produce or what product you are going to sell in the market. So this plays a major role, because the product which we sell should have a demand. So say, for example, if you are producing tomato, so the tomato should have a good demand in the market. So if it doesn't have any demand, so it is waste of money or it is waste of time to produce the particular product. So similarly, we have several commodities which is region specific and which is place specific. So we have several things. So we have to first analyze what is the demand of the consumers, or in what way the commodities has to be produced to them. So whether they like to have the commodity in the form of either ketchups or any juices or anything else, or whether they want to have it in a raw form. So this product, the delivering the product, it helps in, it obviously attracts the consumers in purchasing the produce. Then the next important thing is nothing but your price. So the price plays a major role in selling the commodity. Okay, so price is nothing but how much money you are offering for your product, or how much the consumer has to pay for the produce you are selling it in the market. So this is what the price is. So how the prices has to be fixed. So it has to be based on the product's real and perceived value. So if the product is of very bad quality, so I could not go for giving the prices at a very higher rate. So we should stick on to the product's real and as well as the perceived value, and it also should take into consideration the supply cost, the seasonal discounts we avail for it, and as well as the competitor's price. Because mainly in agriculture, we are in a perfectly competitive market wherein many people will be producing the same type of commodities. So we should have a good knowledge or clear knowledge regarding so how much the competitors is fixing prices for the produce. So your product should not be lesser than the competitor's product, because if it is lesser, then we may feel that as per the consumer psychology, we feel that the product is not of good quality, or it should not be very higher because everyone can't afford it. So we have to analyze the situation Based on that, we have to fix the pricing for the commodity. And at the same time, nowadays we have many things like we have coupons, we have discounts and several things. So everything, it needs a time. So when the discounting has to be given to the people. So if you are giving more discounts, then obviously the people will think that it is, it is because of some of the quality they are, the producer is sacrificing some quality aspects. So that is the reason he is providing discounts and in a cheaper rate. And if you are giving the produce, or if you are selling the produce in a more, if the price is very high, then obviously we feel that the product is luxurious, and some people will go for it if they want to have a luxurious thing, and some people, they can't afford it. So we need to determine when and how the pricing has to be done. Then the third one is your promotion. So promotion, so nowadays promotion plays a major role in marketing activities. So the promotion, it includes advertising, then the public relations, as well as some of the promotional strategies like providing coupons, like providing any discounts and all those things. So it reveals the consumers, so why they should purchase the commodity and why they have to pay the amount, what is the worthiness of the produce. So in this promotion, it helps in knowing how much the amount we have to provide, and what are all the necessary things, or what are the quality aspects that is available in the product or the commodity. Then the next one is place. So this place plays a major role because it determines where it should be sold, where the product has to be sold, and at the same time, it helps in knowing and where to deliver the product. Because when we go to any supermarket or anything else, we can find something like where the products are being placed. Okay, so when we go to the places of the payment area, so we can find that some of the things like either chocolates or some of the basic necessary items or some of the luxurious items will be placed over there, which obviously attracts the consumers. So the placing of products in each and every place, so whether we are placing at the entry of the shop or whether we are placing at the middle of the shop, so it plays a major role and it attracts the people in purchasing the product. So these are the 4 P's in any of the marketing mix. Then now we are moving into the place where how the digital marketing works, because we are about to discuss about the digital marketing. So we should know how the digital marketing is working. So the first and foremost thing is websites. So websites, so it is like the business premise on the internet. So you are creating your own logo. You are creating your own website in the internet, like how you are having a shop in a locality. Okay, so it promotes your business for all the 365 days, that is 25/7. Okay, so what you are doing is you are just building your brand on the internet. So if something that is officially visible in the internet, then people will have a good they will have good information, or they will have good sort of approach if they see something in the websites. So what we are doing is, so we are building a brand on our internet. So how the branding in the internet should be? So it should be clean and focused content. So which means that it should be up to the point. There should not be any unnecessary information that has to be provided, because it obviously reduces the loyalty as well as the recognition of your website. Okay, and the website should always be user friendly. So if it is more complicated, then people won't like to access to it. So the website should be user friendly, so that if the more website traffic is generated, so website traffic in the sense, if more people are accessing to it, so obviously a traffic will be created, which obviously attracts the consumers, attract the visitors, and which obviously reflects in their own portal. So the web page has to be user friendly in such a way that it creates more traffic than means, which obviously attracts the visitor. So you should design your website in such a way that you have to market your produce. So the appearance should be good. It should be clean and focused content. So focused content in the sense, so what are the informations you require to provide, only that has to be displayed in the website. Then the next one is social media marketing. So which is the emerging nowadays when we move with the social marketing, because we all use the smartphones, we use the laptops. So it is nowadays become a necessary item for everyone. So normally we people spends around a minimum of around 3 hours a day in social media. So since we are using more of social media, so we have the marketers or the producers, they have a good opportunity to use the social media so that they can create a good relationship with the global audience. Okay, so before you market your produce, we have to know on what platforms the people are more. So whether they are using more the Facebook, or whether they are using more Twitters or any other Instagrams or whatever let it be. So depending upon how much the audience are using several platforms, we can go for it. We can go for that platform so that the people will be knowing what sort of commodities you wish to sell in the market. So this is your social media marketing. Then the third one is email marketing. So I know many of you people will be receiving n number of emails regarding everything. So we have Swiggy, we have Zomato, we have several other things wherein we receive through the mail. So mail, it is the cheapest, more cheapest as well as effective way of marketing. Why? Because so we are individually, that is the marketers are individually concentrating on each and every person. So we feel like, so if I am getting a mail from any of the sources, so obviously I feel that they are somewhat personally attached to me. So that is the reason they are sending me the messages. So it is mainly the personal way to reach each and every clients as well as the customers. So when we are personalizing to the email, so we have to deliver a correct content. So what is available? So if at all any discount has been provided, so we can inform that 50% of discount is provided to these commodities. So these type of automated emails and other different strategies, it helps in building a strong relationship between the seller as well as the consumers. So this is your email marketing. Then the third one is your paid digital advertising. So as the name itself indicates, so we are paying some amount of money for digitalizing, for advertising digitally. So like how we have the normal, the localities wherein we see the several banners or several flexes wherein they advertise themselves. So similarly in online, we have the paid digital advertisements. So which mainly works on PPC model. So PPC model is nothing but pay per click. So if you just move with that, so if you click any on website, so automatically it pays to the server who is providing it. So you are not paying, but anyway, the person who is having the access to that particular website, so they will be paid with, they will be paying to the search engines over there. So we have several concepts. We have search ad, then we have social ads, as well as we have display ads. So the search ads, it is also called as paid search. So wherein we pay as well as the search engine marketing. So this is the best way to meet out the competitors, because if something that appears on the first, so whenever we are surfing something in the internet, so we may see the first option rather than we won't try to skip to the next pages. So we will try with moving with the first and foremost option that is available in each and every website. So that is what the search ad is. So we people psychologically will be more interested in moving with the first and foremost items that is displayed over there. So when each and every time when the user clicks the page, so on the paid ads, so you pay the search engine for traffic generated for the particular page. So that is with regard to the search ads. Then the next one is your social ads. So social platforms, the same like Facebook or Twitter or any Instagrams or whatever let it be. So it helps in providing you the business by paying on these platforms. So see the example over here. So we have social ads. So it is an effective targeting by using a call to action button. So if you just press on to that, so it will just reach it will directly reach the server, or it will directly reach the platform, so that they will be tracked and they will analyze you towards the more towards the more relevant results, like whether you are willing to purchase, or if there is any future discounts are being provided, it will be directly communicated to you either through email or through any of the notifications. So this is your social ads. Next one is your display ads. So this type of display ads, it is mainly displayed at the the traffic pages. Say, for example, mostly we have the habit of studying newspapers, the Hindu or Indian Express, or in the online platform nowadays. So in these platforms, this display ads are being displayed at either on the topper side or on the left or right hand side of the pages, so that when they are using these, these news portals or any other traffic related web pages, so we can have an option like these are also being advertised over here. So they are aggressive ads. So it mainly displays across millions of websites. So this share engines, so we have this SEO, that is search engine operations. So they share your ads to the website based on the targeted preference. So this is regarding the paid digital advertisements, wherein we have search ads, then we have social ads as well as the display ads. Then the next one is search engine optimization. So I think everyone knows the search engine optimization. So that is the place where whatever we want to discuss or whatever we want to search, so we will search over there. So that is termed as SEO. So it is mainly this SEO. It works mostly for the vegetable agricultural products, agricultural marketing products. The two for fruits and vegetables. The two mainly for organic support. So this SEO it traffics the page by around 53%. So which means that about 53% of the population is searching for organic produce in the web pages. Okay, so when we have this type of thing, so when more and more number is being searched, so it gives your business recognition in the online market. So whenever we type something, so which is the best, hotel in any area. So we will have a list of hotels with means what is the predominant hotel or which is the best hotel. So now we are very much fond of it. Even if we don't know any locations where we go, so if we just surf it in SEO, so we can get a knowledge like where the hotel is available, so which is good and which is hygienic. So every information is directly displayed in the search engine operations. So this type of business, it obviously increases the business credibility in the market. So whenever we see the first option, so we say, okay, this product is very good, so we can go for it. So this involves, so even though the search engine operation or reaching the topmost position, even it involves a lot of time and effort. So getting ranked in the first place, it obviously increases, it means it rewards you for a longer time, both in terms of sales as well as the revenue. So this search engine operation is obviously, it is a long-term strategy. But once if it is done, or once if it reaches once you reach the topmost position, so you will be reaping the rewards as well as benefits in a continuous manner. But the only thing what you have to do with this thing is when you use the SEO, so you have to approach, or you should have more back-end work. So from the grassroots level, you have to analyze yourself, or you have to see to it so that everything operates in a good environment. So this is some of the SEOs we have. So whenever we go with the keywording, so say for example, good hotels or good restaurants. So if we just type it, obviously it shows everything. Then the content, so whether it is a vegetarian or non-vegetarian, so whether it is vegetarian or whether it is organically made, so everything will be content delivered over there. So also the analysis nothing but the ratings what we give for each and every product. So if the food is good, so we have 5 different ratings. So it analyzes which is good. So if it is 4.1 or 4.2, we are very good, and we don't want to go for anything, and we will directly go to the particular places. So similarly, the social media. So nowadays we have many reviewing social media platforms wherein we review each and every places, or we used to review everything. So all these, it helps in improving the business credibility of it helps in improving the business credibility. Then the next one is mobile optimization. So we are using 2 different gadgets. So we are using 3 different gadgets, obviously. So we are using laptops, desktops, and we use mobile phones, which is most common. And the third one is we have tab. So even we have good platforms or good optimization with the desktop. So sometimes people immediately, if they want to search something else, so they will be looking out in the web pages, or they will be looking out in the apps. So which is mobile friendly. So we have to optimize our website for the mobile users as well. So if it is made, then obviously, so it is most crucial marketing strategy for the agricultural products, because agriculture as well as the vegetarian or non-vegetarian, so we are more specific towards the quality as well as the freshness of the produce. So if it has been good, if it has been displayed in a good format, or if it is very catchy, then people will start attracted towards it and they start purchasing it. So this mobile optimization, it plays a major role in the digital marketing. Then the next one is video marketing. So I think many of you are very fond of this video marketing. So wherein people, they're starting from the agricultural aspect. So if they are doing any agribusiness, agricultural activities like selling of fruits, vegetables, or any greens or anything else. So people will try to explain everything. So what are the things they have done? So what are the fertilizers? What are the pesticides they have used? So everything will be displayed in a very clear manner, so that people will know all type of information, like from the starting, from the plowing operation till it is being packed. So if these types of information is being given, so the people will get, the customers will get more attractive towards the platform, towards the video marketing, so that the content, the video content, as well as the people will get good idea about what type of commodities they are purchasing. Because each and every consumers, they are spending more and more and more and more, or on an average, they spend around 100 rupees per day, for minimum of 100 rupees per person per day, for their consuming, so that people, so which means that people are nowadays more towards the quality specific activities as well as the health specific related aspects. So previously we were depending only whether the food is available or not. That was the first thing we had. But now, since the cost of living is increasing, since our standard of living is increasing, so we people are more specified towards the quality aspects as well as the health and hygienic aspects. So if these types of video marketing is being provided, so it gives insights into why we need to create, or why we need to purchase the commodity, or what is the necessary for, or what is there in that particular commodity. So it is an essential form of marketing, and it is the best way to promote your content. So this is with regard to your video marketing. Then the next one is content marketing, which is very famous nowadays, because every person, they wish to know what is there in the particular commodity. Say, for example, if you go with any oil, so say, let us take the rice bran oil or soybean oil. So it is oil previously, but now people are very much interested to know what type of nutritional contents or what type of nutritional aspects they have. So how much of omega-3 fatty acids is there? So how much of fat is there? So how much of any other peculiar or the particular items is there? So the content marketing, it helps in increasing the credibility as well as the business, the business marketing in the digital environment. So it is something like a storytelling. So what you have with that, so how you prepared in that. So all those things you want to give it to your audience. So even though it is a long-term strategy, it focuses on building a strong relationship with the targeted audience. So which means, so once you are fixed with the particular product, you don't want to move outside, or you don't want to switch over to any other product. So which obviously attracts all your targeted audience. And at the same time, so if someone is purchasing, then obviously we will review it to the next person, which increases your sales rate. So whenever we are delivering something, a content in a high quality manner, it obviously attracts the audience, and which it ultimately it helps in growing up the business activities. So this content marketing, so nowadays it is very common, quite common, because nowadays we are more working towards the fortified commodities. Say, for example, if it is salt. So previously we had just salt. But now, because many of them are deficient in iodine, we started introducing iodine with the salt. So we were just fortifying it. So whenever we are purchasing, we can see it is an iodized salt. So which means that the salt is containing some iodine, which obviously reduces the deficiency in every human being. So these type of content marketing, it is nowadays becoming more popular. So which says what is there in the product actually. So as a concluding note, so we can, we are still in the nascent stage, that too mainly in the agricultural products. So which can help you to reach the higher heights, because since it is a nascent stage, we have more amount of innovative activities. So innovative things can be done. We are more towards, the India is more with the technological platform. So we can have both the agriculture as well as the technology that can be imbibed, so that the digital marketing can be made in a more, in a good manner. And if we invest more on the digital marketing, so and if we implement these strategies like promoting the brand or whatever let it be, so it helps in providing a good results, and it keeps you more innovating and day by day. So it is always a business will be in a, it will be like a fluctuation. So whenever we reach upwards, so next we have to go with the next innovation, so that we will be always there in the, always in the higher heights. So sooner you start your digital marketing, so it obviously it helps in increasing your platform. And you can also assist some of the people who are working close to you, like in agriculture. So you can open a startup, because nowadays government is providing n number of subsidies to the startups, which is closely related to agriculture, mainly with the marketing of the produce, only the processing as well as the marketing of the produce. So we, the youth people, can enter into this digital market, so that we can help the farmers both in getting higher income and as well as delivering a right product at the right time. So this is with this I will conclude my lecture. So if you have any doubts, you are open for discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. The lecture was really excellent, and your eloquence and the grip, on the content was really appreciable. Yes, we have some questions. Like I want to ask you, you were talking about the digital marketing platform. So I want to know, how are we going to design the systems? Like, how are we going to design the software? Since basic question is that, do we need to collaborate with the engineers and techies, because you yourself are associated with an engineering institute and technology institute. So what is your opinion on the collaborations and the designing of such systems, like basically the software designing for digital marketing platform?
So when we talk with the digital marketing, so obviously we are from agricultural background, so we are not much towards the technological platform. So what we can do is, we have several IT experts, and we have several website designers, so we can collaborate with them, and we can have a digital platform, so that what all the commodities we produce, it can be directly uploaded in the market, or where the products can be available. We will just have a short online platform, like we can within a radius. So what are all the commodities that is being produced over there? So where the products are being marketed, and how much the maximum and the minimum prices. So those can be given in a clear format, because whenever we go to any farmer's market, so we can find a table over there displaying the commodity name as well as the prices, maximum as well as the minimum prices. So it is not necessary that each and every person, they have to enter into the farmer's market, and they should know the information, like what is available over, means what is the price of each and every commodity. So rather than that, we can get the information and we can directly upload it in the portal, so that every people, be it who are using the mobile phones or who are using the internet accessories, so they can know what is the prevailing price that is in the nearby local markets. So, and at the same time, if some of the farmers who are really interested to join with any of the institutes or any of the universities, so they can make available that how much of the commodities they produce in each and every day, because agriculture is mainly season specific. So what we can do is, we can ask the farmers to update the information. So for example, if they are going to harvest tomorrow, so by today they can just say how much of the commodity, approximate commodity they can harvest it, so that we can display it in the portal, and we can fix some prices based on the production cost, so that we can also compare it with the nearby markets, either the retail markets or the wholesale markets, and we can place the prices on the digital platform as well. So if this works, so obviously the digital market, it starts entering into the market. So that is what we have some special farming app, Kisan app or something, many apps are there, which constantly works towards it. But still we need to improve some more facilities over there, so that the farmers, like how we have ENAM, every farmers are registering towards that for marketing the produce. So we are okay, we have good platform as ENAM for the food markets. So similarly, we should have a good platform for the perishable commodities, so that people can sell their produce at the right time in the right market to the right consumers. So we have initiated some innovative activities along with agriculture and the other engineering technology people, so that we will build a platform, and we will go with some of the digital marketing aspects as well as the processing aspects. So we are working on it, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, basically, I want to ask another question. That suppose a farmer comes to me and asks me that he wants to, start digital marketing. So, what is the basic strategy that I should tell him to follow? Like, what is the basic go-to? Just the basic how can I advise him to basically start it
so
up?
Actually, if he wants to go with the digital marketing, the best way is to go with the social media platforms, sir. So it is not that immediately we can't want to enter into a startup business, because every farmer, like in India, we have very small and marginal farmers. So the large farmers are very less. So they could not able to produce, or they could not satisfy. They can satisfy a week by producing some commodities, but they could not satisfy for all the 365 days. So if that is the case, so they can just go with the social media marketing. So they can post in the social medias that I have this much of commodities, it is available here. It can be marketed, or it can be parceled or couriered, depending upon the necessity of the people. So this social media, so even if we use for several aspects, but it is the best platform for marketing the produce with regard to the farmers, even though it is user friendly. So they have a good authenticated thing. So if it is in the nearby area, so every people, we all know. So this, if it is in Vellore, so I know it is more famous for paddy cultivation. So it is more famous for brinjal cultivation. So if that is the case, I can assure myself that, okay, the product will be good over there. So I can purchase the produce from there. So if it is like any saffron, say for example, it is from Jammu and Kashmir. So if any farmer from there, if we just give an information on social media, so the people have an authenticity that, okay, it is from Jammu and Kashmir, and they can go for purchasing from there. So so the production cost as well as the marketing cost alone will be incurred, and the consumer will be getting the price, getting a good price as well as a good quality, and the freshness will be there. So if we go on with processing the food items, we still add more and more of chemicals to it. So people won't prefer nowadays. So it's better we can have a direct communication. We can place it in the social media so that people can get easy access to it. So that the people will directly, the farmers or the consumers will directly contact each other. So nowadays we have the advanced booking of marketing. So which means that here in Tamil Nadu, where the people are growing the traditional varieties of paddies or the crops, millets and all. So the consumers, they book priorly with some advance amount that after 6 months, I need this much quintals of paddy. So in that way, we have advance booking. So which means that each and every consumer, they have a good recognition. They have a good trust on each and every farmer that he will be providing good quality produce. So nowadays, this is happening. So this will be this is still in the same nascent stage. It will still emerge in the future. So nowadays, it gets advanced booking, like how we have for the industries and automobiles and all those things. So this is what is happening now. Maybe still it increases in the future. Maybe with this 3.0 and 4.0, it may happen.
Beautifully explained, ma'am. Ma'am, next question I think is best suited for you to answer. Like I want to ask that, talking about the condition of women in the country, what do you think about the digital technology, whether it is empowering the women or even they are getting lagged behind? Because we see that generally it is the men who own the mobile phones and mobile subscriptions and internet, and they are more efficient in handling the technology. So what is your opinion on that?
So,
and how can
since it is, say, when we go to any farmers market, we can have both. Like we have men who is selling the commodities, we have female who sell the commodities. So, since now the emerging platform, like we have mobile phone access and many things. So now what happens is, women, they are directly sitting at the home, just cultivating everything, and they are placing it in the media that I have this commodity. So in the morning 5 o'clock, if they place that I have harvested some 5 kgs of tomato. So the people who are nearby, the people who are working or who don't have agriculture, so they directly go, or they will directly ask the people to deposit in their own respective places. So by sitting at home, they can earn some amount of money. So we have several things nowadays. We have kitchen gardening, we have rooftop gardening. So even if we don't have land, so people are more interested and more keen towards working on those places, and they would like to produce themselves for their home, as well as some amount can be given or sold outside so that they can again go back to the cultivation aspects. So this is what is happening. So at least they can satisfy their own needs. Women can satisfy their own needs when they are at their home itself. They don't want to go out and they don't want to work more, or they don't want to starve under sun for hours together for selling the produce. So this is what is happening nowadays. So even at the time of COVID, so many people have started this, the kitchen gardening, rooftop gardening, the vertical gardening. So all these things now, it helps the people to, the women mainly, to empower themselves by sitting at home. So this is what my point of view, and I have seen many success farmers in Tamil Nadu, those who own themselves by from these farming activities.
Yes, Okay, thank you, ma'am. So this was all about the questions and answer session. Now I would thank you for being here, for sharing such a beautiful lecture with all of us and being with us. I thank you from the core of my heart and on the behalf of entire team of Just Agriculture and from the audience. I hope everyone must have enjoyed the lecture. It was really a beautiful lecture, ma'am. And we hope to see you in future also.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the opportunity given. Thank you.
Pleasure, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now moving on with the program, it's time for our next guest to deliver his lecture. So I would hand over the platform to Dr. Himani Gautam, and she will continue with the session. Over to you, Dr. Himani.
Thank you, Rishi. A very good evening to all. Myself, Himani Gautam, and I'm the host for the last session of today's evening. And it is my great pleasure and foremost duty to welcome you all in this program. And so now taking the program to the next segment, I would like to invite the next guest of today's evening, Dr. Lucio Andre D. Castro George. He is researcher at Brazilian Enterprise of Agriculture Research. Dr. George worked as researcher at Brazilian Enterprise Prize of Agriculture Research Instrumentation Center since 1990. Sir has done electronic engineering from University of Barrots and Master in Computer Science and Mathematical Computational from University of Sao Paulo and PhD in Science from University of Sao Paulo. Since 2012, he is working as professor at Mayer University of Chile. Sir is working with the drones, artificial intelligence, and computer vision for precision agriculture and applications of deep learning applied to agriculture. So I must thank Sir for joining us today, and over to you, Sir.
Hi. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for for the invitation. It's a pleasure for me to talk about our work, our working with drones and the artificial intelligence and applications in precision farming. I'm a researcher at Embrapa. Embrapa is a research center of Brazil. It's a big enterprise from the government that works with research. And we have more than 40 centers of research. And my center where we are working is a research center for instrumentation. Is a center that works with automation, new technologies, applications of, in general, physics and chemical and some other techniques from different areas to integrate solutions in agriculture. I will share my presentation now. Just a minute.
Yes, sir.
I hope desktop one, I think it's okay. If you have some problem, try again. Okay?
Sure, sir.
As,
your presentation is visible.
Okay, thank you. Well, we have just a minute. We have here some photos, some images from our center. We have some buildings on the city of São Carlos. In São Carlos is São Paulo state in Brazil, and we have a farm together. The city is where we have farming, precision farming lab. Is a big farm where we have a lab where we develop, for example, drones, and we have some trainings and applications for. There are some questions or no? Can you hear me?
Sir, I can hear.
Okay, okay. Well, my precision lab is here. Here we have one area where we develop some methodologies, some algorithms, some integration of drones, robots, and so on. And beside here, we have a field where we test. It's possible to test our experimentations and so on. The next slide is in Portuguese, sorry, but it's a video, but I will talk during this video, explain for you in English. Okay, sorry, because it was made in English, in Portuguese. Here is some images from our lab in our experimentations in our aircrafts or our drones that we start to work 20 years ago. And from now, we have different solutions, different improvements, and develop new drones and new systems. During these 20 days, 20 years was evolution, very big evolution from the field, from the technologies, and now is our first model. It's a fixed wing that we tested on the field. It's a big one that is, with this is possible to take pictures, take images from the field. It's another model that's a helicopter that we developed there to improve the image capture. In both cases, we have we are using the drones to develop methodologies, to develop this. Here is Bruno, my student from the university. We have a partnership with Embrapa and the universities in order to develop some methodologies and try to use the new vehicles to improve new cameras, new sensors, and applied this on agriculture. And the idea is to have new methodologies to improve the crop yield. Improve the idea is to use the methodologies to help the farmers to do some improvements on the field in order to have good yields on the field. In our lab here, we studying the images. The images are captured, and we developed some softwares based, for example, in artificial intelligence. And with those softwares, from different sensors, as I will talk with you, it's possible to see better the field and detect some changes. For example, with the drones, it's possible to collect a lot of images. Those images were made a mosaic, integration of different images, and we compare those images with in different scales: aerial images, the drone, and satellite images. For example, in this area, we try to use the different indexes, spectral indexes, to see the difference on the field. We developed some software, some applications to count the plants, to count for example, the maize, to count the fails in sugarcane, to detect, for example, extract water extract on the field. For example, here is a grape experimentation, and all the time comparing those with with the production, with the quality of the wine, quality of the food, and so on. The idea of our group is that we are working with students from electronic engineers, computer science, in general, to test, to develop models. For example, here is a model from a PhD student, Bruno, from a university that is working with the drones to improve the way to use the drone for spraying, in order to reduce the problems with the spraying on the field. Was developed an artificial intelligence algorithm that helps to guide the drones during the operation. And at this time, it's possible to calculate the wings, correct the direction from the operation, and help to farmers to do an application of pesticides and so on very, very fast. It's in a model we have a group of computer scientists that calculate all the parameters from the drones to guide well the way how to operate the drone on the field. Is very we have different applications. So we have some algorithms for control the drones. We have some algorithms to understand the image and transform the image information to the recommendation for the farmers. And here is in our lab, pictures from our lab with my students with different drones, only for you to see a little bit about our area where we test our solutions. Okay, that's okay. Next slide. In general, we try to use experimentations, capturing information from the field on soil by a man is made operate in general on the soil, or we using machines. We improve at this time using some IoT devices on the field, on the machines on the field, and with those we compare all the time the information from the soil, from the man, from the IoT systems, and for example compare satellite informations. Robots on the field, for example, the robots in general have more high costs, but it's very interesting for us to improve with big areas monitoring. We are using drones with different sensors, and nowadays we have a CubeSat or nanocubes, nanosatellites, satellites that could improve the resolution and temporal and spatial resolution from the images. With all those informations, we are developing softwares, artificial intelligence, and the others to improve the farm, how to farm to use the field. My students here on the field, we developed last year's in a partnership with Qualcomm. Is a big enterprise that sells processors. The idea was to integrate on drone, in a small drone, the intelligence. It was made in putting here, for example, the same the same devices that are using on cellular phones. The idea is to have inside the drones a computer to process in real time for help the farmers to understand the field. Here is a video. We have an information about our project.
O Brasil é uma potência agrícola mundial.
It's in Portuguese, but you have here the
podem
English
ajudar a expandir
rights.
sua produção e acelerar o crescimento sustentável. Com esse objetivo, teve início em 2016 o Programa de Desenvolvimento de Tecnologias para o Uso de Drones para a Agricultura de Precisão. O programa uniu a experiência em pesquisa com drones da Embrapa Instrumentação à liderança mundial em tecnologias wireless da Qualcomm, o conhecimento em impacto social do Instituto de Socioeconomia Solidária, ISIS, e a cobertura 4G da TIM, líder no país, preparada para a conexão de soluções de IoT e de drones no campo.
A Qualcomm acredita que o acesso a tecnologias móveis pode melhorar a vida das pessoas. Qualcomm Wireless Reach é uma iniciativa estratégica que demonstra o uso inovador das nossas tecnologias para o bem social e ajuda a impulsionar o progresso humano e econômico em áreas carentes. Desde 2006, a Wireless Reach tem investido em programas que levam tecnologias móveis a comunidades carentes em 47 países, impactando mais de 15 milhões de pessoas.
A Embrapa Instrumentação tem trabalhado no desenvolvimento de algoritmos de processamento de imagens de drones desde 1998. É uma prova de conceito visando integrar, embarcar no drone esse processamento de tal forma que nós tenhamos em tempo real já uma resposta pronta para o produtor. Ou seja, o produtor ter na sua mão, logo após o voo do drone, um diagnóstico da área, dizendo se tem falha de plantio, se tem alterações nutricionais da lavoura, alguma alteração do ponto de vista de nutricional e mesmo de pragas e doenças.
A Qualcomm ficou muito feliz em participar desse projeto de agricultura de precisão com a tecnologia Qualcomm Snapdragon para os produtores rurais do Brasil. Em particular, a tecnologia permite o processamento a bordo das imagens captadas pelos drones, simplificando o processo e reduzindo muitos custos, uma vez que não é necessário processar esses dados depois da finalização do voo em solo em computadores externos.
A avaliação de impacto social e econômico desenvolvida pelo ISIS contou com a participação de 34 agrônomos em 19 cidades da região norte do Paraná. Os resultados nas 105 propriedades monitoradas apontaram que 96% dos relatórios de análise agrícola foram considerados ferramenta importante pelos agrônomos e 97% dos agricultores consideraram que a ferramenta traz benefícios à atividade. A Embrapa acredita que esta prova de conceito tem potencial para tornar-se um produto comercial a ser aplicado pelos consultores agrícolas, cooperativas e produtores no Brasil. Mobilidade, conectividade, inteligência e inovação na geração de soluções para o produtor rural.
This project was very interesting for us. The idea is to have a small drone with that is not expensive for the farmers, and the idea is to improve the farmers, the small farms, to have access of from the information from the field in real time, and help the farmers to manage your areas. At this moment, we are transferring the technology to the enterprise that could produce the drone with this technology to the farmers. It's not until now on the field in real cases, but the idea is very near we have a solution on the fields, selling on the fields. The drones is increasing a lot on the now. It's $1 billion applying to the drones technologies, to drones factors, to drones business, and especially in Brazil at this time, drones is very important technology to help the farmers on the field. And it's not available for all the farmers in general now. They start to be used by the big farmers, but the idea is the providers, service providers could help these technologies to help the small farmers too. Just now in Brazil, the idea we have more than 7,000-8,000 drones registered on the ANAC, is agents that controls the use of drones, but without the registers, I think this number is very, very high. In the idea, the agriculture applications 26% of in the 2020, but now I think this is the same, not evaluate very much. In general, the technologies when we apply to the field have a cycle from the beginning until the time that using for the people, for the farmers, for example. And in general, the first use, most of them try to use, don't want to continue by some problems or some difficulties. The technologies have a time to be ready for the users, the final users, in general users. They need to pass for tests and evolutions during the time until available to adopt for all. And I think the drones technologies and autonomous vehicles and virtual reality and so on is available now in Brazil, at least. They are the hardware or the firmware from the drones, the autonomous vehicles are already for the users. But just now, I think the improvement of using these technologies need to help to use the new algorithms, new intelligence, new systems for real use. Now we have in Brazil, or in the future, near future, we estimate the increase the necessity of food is more than 70% is necessary, because we need more water and more energy, more minerals and more food in the future. In Brazil, have the responsibility, big responsibility for this to improve your agriculture and help to have foods on the future. So in this case, we are trying to use those technologies. We are using the IoT, Internet of Things, using artificial intelligence, using robots, and using the idea is to improve the use of all of those technologies to improve the production. We made this very soon, 2020, an investigation of to gather the farmers how they are adopting those technologies, and published this in this magazine, Agriculture, and published in the very famous magazine from Brazil, Globo Rural. In those, is possible to see the use of different technologies, how the Brazilian farmers are adopting those technologies, how they are accepting those technologies in general. In our research, we need to improve some financial methods or from the government to help the small farmers, and we need to improve, for example, the nationalization of the technologies. Most of them are from the China, from the other places, and the Brazilian people in general don't have access to all details. And in training is very important to integrate this technology on the field, is to train the people, to farmers, how to use, how to have results with this information, those technologies. In this this paper could send you or show you a little bit about the farmers' use of these drones and technologies, or images, satellites images, and so on. In Brazil, we are at this moment movement of to improve a lot of enterprises, startups for agro applications. In this case, all the time we have new enterprise, for example, for using the UAVs or drones on the field, developing applications, software applications for mobile, applying images, systems, trying to integrate the drones from the China, translating the softwares and the recommendations for Brazilian people. There are at this moment the movement to new startups, new enterprises, very important in order to provide drones or UAVs available for the people in Brazil that without a lot of information about this technology. To improve the artificial intelligence softwares or systems that could help the farmers to have results from the application of this on the field. And a lot of groups like farms, big farmers, big cooperatives, and systems working together in order to simplify the use of those technologies. Some startups, for example, enterprise in Brazil, just now, the first step of using of drones was to detect the field modifications, the field by monitoring by images. After, when you have the images and you have the detection, the next step is to use the drones for spraying, for applying to correct the problem, the disease. In this order, at this moment, Brazilian people is trying to improve a lot of in spraying and biological applications of agents on Brazil. There is a lot of institutions in Brazil, from the universities, research centers like Embrapa, and working together, more than 1,000 startups for agro applications, in general, with hub of intelligence in different places in in Brazil. With this movement is very important to improve the use of those technologies in Brazil. At this moment, we can say that in Brazilian people have access to satellites, to sensors, IoT on the machines, and drones on the field. But until now, or just now, there is necessary to integrate, to develop new analytics, new systems that help the farmers to integrate those informations and to have solutions. The future, I think we are in this transition, in transition to have those machines and want to have a real solution to process the data and the analytics, do the analytics and help the farmers. For example, for images, we have today on satellites and on drones different sensors from different wrangles, different spectral wrangles. For example, from near infrared to high near infrared spectrals, from visible and so on, that is possible to detect the diseases, the problems on the field on real time if necessary. We have multiple spectral sensors, we have RGB sensors, we have thermal sensors, hyperspectral sensors, LiDAR lasers that is help farmers to detect the biomass, the height of the trees and so on, and the sensors like fluorescence based on the fluorescence based on soil lights. Those sensors, with those sensors, it's possible to see different reactions of the plants. And with, for example, one plant or one leaf can express the stress by, for example, the temperature. For example, if you have water stress, the plant could change the temperature. And if you use the thermal sensor, it's possible to detect this difference. And for example, by nutrients stress, it's possible to see the degradation of pigments. And it's possible to see the difference on the visible range and the near infrared ranges. So using those spectral informations with, for example, LiDAR information is a laser, it's possible to see the information in real time in 2D, seeing the location of where we have the difference, or 3D, and where it's possible to see the differences along the tree, along the plant. Is for this to process those informations with a big data is necessary artificial intelligence. In general, the people are using a lot neural networks, convolutional neural networks. At this moment, I think is a good and it's a disruptive technology, and that help the farmers to understand the field, to understand, for example, estimate the yield by some parameters acquired, for example, by images, by, for example, the canopy height, the cover, the volume, the number of flowers, the number of volume and size of the balls in the cotton, for example. It's possible to try to training the models that help the farmers to estimate some things on the field. We did a revision apply for the using of UAV, remote sensing, using mainly the deep learning. That is a good, a new moment and a new technologies using to that help the farmers, help the users to understand the field, to develop new automatic solutions. We have a lot of networks with different architectures, topologies, and so on. And in this case, we did a revision and published this. Is very interesting for different applications. Which kind of neural network is better for one thing or another thing, and so on. For example, deep learning is a new and could help very much in cases where we need to understand the diseases on the field. For example, here is a banana. We are training a system with deep learning to detect some disease. It's very interesting. You need to improve some methodologies to training the system, but as you have the system trained, it's possible to have to improve the drones, for example, to detect the disease very fast. We published at this time one result, some experimentations that we have. For example, we try to use to understand the signals from spectrum from the plants. After you have for example, an insect or some attack on the plant. We monitor with hyperspectral sensors during 1 day, 2 days, 4 days, then 10 days after the insect's detection, and compare the leaves signals, and it was possible to see that after 2 hours after the insects on the field, the plants could give us a signal that there is an insect. So it's possible to improve the automation, the system to detect the very early detection of insects on the field. Here, for example, we have cotton. Sorry, is in Spanish. Cotton information that we have the presence of insects, and the system with hyperspectral could discriminate the presence of the insects on the field very fast. Okay, these are another applications. We did a system for monitoring the greening of citrus or one long bean problem. For this, we developed a system that count the trees and detect the line of trees using the CNN algorithms or deep learning. For example, detect the lines, detect the trees, and after the tree detected, we could see the disease. And by the spectral information, it's possible to detect early and real time the presence of greening of citrus. And if you just now is the technology is very interesting to count to estimate the yield on the field, counting the trees, the fruits on the trees. Here is a citrus area, and we have a small camera with a video, and the software that detect in real time the presence of the fields of the trees and the fruits, and counting of them. It's a very interesting applications to estimate the production. The complexity is very high. For example, here is an apple area where we have apples, trees, and the detection by our algorithms. But it's not so easy to understand, to see, for example, the discriminate each tree, discriminate the fruits from the trees. It's there's some studies at this moment improving those applications on the field. Here is the same idea, is to count the maize or corn on the field. For example, during the flight, in real time, detect the number of plants. And with this, it's possible to control the problem, the disease, or correct the plantations or the management, the better the fields, in order to have more yield on the field. Here is an architecture of our artificial intelligence system that could at the same time count and detect the line. It's very important. We published this on the papers recently. In the here, for example, we have an spectral based from the fruit, the citrus, and by the signal it's possible to measure the nutrients and predict the nutrients on the field. Is very important for the farmers. All the technologies to detections nowadays are evaluating too much, and but not evaluating on scientific application, but evaluating on real-time solutions is very important for us to help the farmers to detect and have a decision how to do or how to operate on the field. For example, here is a detection of ants on the field based on images, and using artificial intelligence. For example, for a big enterprise here in Brazil, Suzano papers factory, they need to detect very early the presence of ant or ant hills. In this case, using a small camera, it's possible to by drones flying during this area. It's possible to detect in real time the presence of ants, and after that, control of this. So the future is we have a lot of information. We have a lot of new sensors that could us improve to change a lot this field production. For example, here in Israel, we have an application is available on the field where sorry the video, but the idea is show only the idea. Here in an apple production, as you have now, for example, the people having the harvest and choosing the better apple is possible now with those new sensors, with hyperspectral sensors and drones and a lot of technologies. They in Israel developed a new system that the people can buy the apples by different quality and pay for different qualities. And after they select what they want, the system could give us a direction to have a harvest with automatically by drones identifying the good apples and apples that is available for with quality to consumers, and the drones is guided to have a harvest the specific apples for the quality that the farmers want for those sellers. And it's possible to automate the system a lot, having automatically crop production control on the field. I think is a very important example. It's a real-time developed by a TEVL system, and show us the direction of the automation on the field. Now, automation on forest is possible to see, for example, for inspection with drones on the field, to see some solutions to help the farmers to count, to estimate the production, to detect some parameters, and on real time. Here are using the virtual reality and detection, the monitoring, inspection with drones on the field, detecting the diameters and parameters of the trees, in order to improve the measurement, the production of trees. It's very interesting solution. It's possible to see the measurement of diameters and control the variabilities and control some parameters of production on the field. Here is an example that is very easy to program a drone or a system that fly inside the flow forest and measure some informations and fly over the trees to see, for example, some parameters like ants, diseases, and estimate the forest production. It's very important just now using drones to detect different productions, different size of trees, size of areas that help the farmers to control the production. In sugarcane, we are using deep learning. Our software can detect the lines, and after the line is detect the plants and detect the fails. It's possible to automatically made by drones compared with non-soil solution, a pilot, automatic pilot. It's possible to see the precision. It's very, very high precision, and it is possible to detect the fails of the places where we don't have the sugarcane, and it's possible with this correct at the time the production in order to improve the yield on the field, yes, avoiding the problems on the field. So the idea, in general, we have a lot of sensors. We have available in all the time. They are having new sensors, new improvements. But it's very important to translate, to use to extract these data and extract or compare or understand those signals, those informations, and have a solution for the farmers. For example, here in Mato Grosso, we have an experimentation with in a farm of cotton and soybean production, and by NDVI index or information of a spectral information from the field, acquired by drones or acquired by satellites, it's possible to monitor during the time which crop we have on the field and how this crop is growing. For example, we in general define the management areas. For example, the areas where we have difference based on the NDVI information, information of a spectral index, information from the electrical conductivity. So information from soil is very important, and comparing the productivity index. With those informations, it's possible to integrate those in algorithm in order to help the farmers to define different areas or where we have different management on the field to improve the production. So in this case, it's possible to analyze the nematoids or leaf areas, is clay or soil information, LiDAR, analyzing the biomass from the field, from the crop. The crop circle is a system that improves for us NDVI index on the field. We have maps of RIA NDVI, and with those information, it's possible to determine the variable tax to apply different products to control the field. And with this, the idea is to improve the production in next year. The idea is to have a lot of monitoring systems, have a lot of information, and develop a system to help the farmers to have decision where they need to apply more or less products, for example, in order to have a better, to improve the production. For example, in different years, we measure the parameters like drones, electrical conductivity, soil information, soil declivity, and altimetry, and the determination of nematoids. With all those, we separate the management areas and compare how to the management could improve the soil. I am not detail this, but the idea is to understand the fertility, the topography, the nematoids or diseases in general, compactation of soil, type of soil, and other parameters to understand how to manage the field. So the idea is to use the technology, and drones is one of this information. The drone could help us with declivity. It is possible to give us the spectral informations and give biomass information, some information that could help us, but we need other information to in order to have a decision all the time. So nowadays, after we have mapping the differences on the areas or detect the disease, nowadays the people in Brazil are trying to use two solutions with drones. The drones for applying agents, biological agents, or insects that control some disease. For example, trichogramas and telenomos and the cotesias and so on for different crops, sugarcane, soybean, corn, and so on. In the idea, for example, we have a partnership with there is a lot of new enterprise. We have an enterprise that is cooperating with Embrapa. We are developing a new system, for example, to do the liberation of the agents. For example, here is a video where we have the drones with a system that could apply the medfly, some systems for control and solids or insects in different conditions to control diseases on the field, trichogramas and telenomos and so on. We are developing systems that are very not expensive, very easy to use on different drones. For example, here is a phantom type. Is a very light system that is possible to liberate, to use the different stages of agents, biological agents on the field, and it's possible to apply those agents to control the diseases on the field in a very cheap way. And another way is there is a spraying systems with different chemical products to control the disease on the field. The idea in precision farming is using the products only where we need. By these optical sensors, we detect the areas with difference and the program to apply the spray only where we need. For this is we are developing methodologies to determine the distance, the conditions of flight, which product, how much the product, the drops, how the drops need to be used, and the temperature, the conditions of applications on the field. At this moment, it's very new, the use of spraying system on the field in Brazil. So different parameters need to be determined. So at Embrapa, we have experimentations where we have plots with control conditions, where we have test all the parameters to adjust and in order to have a recommendation to the farmers how to use the drones for spraying, okay, efficiently. We are studying the drops, how the drops goes to the plant, the size, the effective way of using this technology. We compare, for example, with trucks, with manual system and control systems, the application and efficiency of drones, for example, for different systems here, for rust, Asiatic rust, and the severity of soybean. And the drones is a good way to improve the application on the field. But at this moment, we need to improve a lot the parameters, the adjusts, and the recommendations to the farmers. For this, we use in general the markers on the field and trying to understand by the wind direction what the impacts of the use of the drops on the field, on the top of the plant, on the bottom of the plant, and the middle, and so on. The idea is to understand the size, the kind of the effectiveness of this application. Okay, but all of those applications here in Brazil is not so easy in different areas to automatically have those systems on the field. Is very important to have internet or connectivity. The Brazilian government is trying to invest at this moment in new technologies to have more cover of internet on the field. But just now, the reality is not so good as like in an urban area. But all the time, I think is clear for us that internet available all area on the field is very important to those new technologies like drones, like systems, IoT systems, and integration of this to have real-time recommendations. But I think in Brazilian government is trying to improve this signal on the field at this moment. In the near future, I think is very fast to apply all of those technologies. So I think as a little bit of that we have to show you, and I'm available for you if you want to send me an email, and my here you have my contact, and I could answer you some doubts and information that you want. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was indeed a very wonderful presentation. We have enjoyed a lot and learned a lot from you. And I hope all the participants must have learned a lot of things from you, because you have showed everything in videos and pictures very, very practically. So it is very interactive session, I must say. And so we have some questions from the participants. So if you allow, so may I take the questions?
Yes, could answer some questions.
Yeah, sir. Sir, one question, just wait for a minute. Okay. Sir, we have a question that, as you have mentioned in the video, the information about plant disease and weeds gets available to farmers so soon after the flight of drones. So there must be some training of farmers being done prior for them. Please tell us about that. Do farmers have to undergo some kind of training?
Yes, is very important to train the farmers before. In general, this is so easy. The farmer only need to press a button and start the system, and they automatically do the operation. But it's very important to train the farmer to understand what is the information provided on the tablets for them, to understand what is the system showing for them, and how to use this information is very important. But for this is necessary to training before. Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, in your country, how easy or how difficult it was for farmers to adapt this technology, the drone technology and AI? Please tell us about that.
It is not so easy. We have different groups. Big farmers that have engineers and the group with knowledge. In this case, it's very easy to improve or to use those AI solutions. But for small farmers and for medium farmers, in general, we have service providers that understand the technology, that train the people to how to use. But it's not so easy for the small farmers to use those technologies.
Okay, sir. Sir, one question I want to ask about drones. Like in our country, India, drones are now being used, but the government has released a national policy on drones, and there are some precautions like in what area we need to use drone, or in what like do's and don'ts while using the drones. But there are no recommendation by the Central Insecticide Board and Registration Committee, which is the committee in India which decided the dose and the precautions which we need to take. Everything about insecticide they decide, and they prescribe the use and everything. So what is the status in your country? Like, are there any kind of recommendation? Because in India it is at very initial stage.
Yes, here in Brazil, we are starting with the recommendations, but the police, we have agents that control the use. We have some establishment of how to use, how to operate, and how to how to avoid some mistakes and regulations. But the real use, for example, the doses, how to prepare the combinations, I think it's new. There are a lot of people trying to do your solution, but it's not a consensus on this at this moment. I think the research, like our center is working, is helping how to, for example, we try at this moment with experimentations to understand and to extract the better parameters that could be transformed in a regulation in the future for the recommendation for the field for the farmers. But I think we are at this moment in a movement of transformation of the field. And in this moment, at this moment, it is not. We have regulations, but only the operation regulations, not the products, the chemicals, how to
Yes.
how to apply, yes, but not the doses.
Not the dose is not recommended yet.
Yes, yes. Okay.
So, sir, from your knowledge, can you please tell us that if you have any idea about that, what will be the difference between the doses? Like if we talk about protected cultivation and open cultivation, so there are some difference in doses or difference in pesticides which we use in protected and which we use in open. So when we talk about the application by drones, so according to you, are there any changes between the dose by manual, by spraying by sprayers or by drones?
Well, in general, the advantage of drones for spraying, I think, is the doses is less than the other systems for trucks, and I think you have the small drops. The small drops is we have advantage from this. The wind, the flight, the advantage of the wind at the moment we apply by experimentations that we did. The size of drops and the wind is very interesting for applications, but for doses we have for difference for different applications. If you have different products and combinations, and there are a lot of solutions. But in general, for small areas, we use less water, the drops are less than the others. And with this is, I think the impact of pesticides on the field is better.
Yes.
Sorry, you
Yes,
have a
sir.
question?
No, sir, you can continue.
Sorry, no.
So am I audible?
I could listen to you now. I don't know.
Yeah, Himani, you are audible.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir, for answering the question. I have another question.
Okay.
Sir, with drones, we will go for aerial applications of pesticides. So, according to you, or are there any studies about the impact of pesticide applications by drone on the pollinators like honeybees and bumblebees and other natural enemies? How the application of pesticide by drones will affect them?
Well, we have we need to have the same. We need to pay attention in different conditions of applications. Is very important: the wind, the temperature, the conditions of the flight. If you have bad conditions, you impact more than the like you have with another spraying solutions. It's very important to control the conditions of flight and wind and temperature and the humidity, and to have a good applications. And the impact is the same. I think could be the small more small than the other systems because it is more concentrated on the part. If you control the flight, if you as you have the flight more together, the plant is more specifically application made. It's possible to have less impact than the others, for example, but on the field. But depends on the conditions of application. It's the same.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for answering the questions. And it was indeed a very informative and very interactive sessions. And I thank you from on the behalf of the entire team of Just Agriculture and our audience. Thank you for joining, sir.
Thank you very much for your invitation. And if you need some information more, could you send me a contact?
Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining, sir. So in the end, I want to thank all the participants for their valuable time and patient listening. This training is being organized by the Partnership of Just Agriculture and Agro-Environmental Education and Farmers Welfare Society, Punjab, with NAHEP, MPUT Udaipur, Bidhan Chandra Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, West Bengal, and Utkarsh PDKV. We are also grateful to our co-organizers and knowledge partners. I would like to thank and congratulate Dr. DPS Vadwal, Organizing Director of this training program, Mohit Bhardwaj, Course Director of this training program, members of the organizing committee, all the speakers and attendees of these sessions. Thank you all for joining and have a great evening.